In this clip, we're going to take a look at some of the other options we have within our motion path constraint to add just a little bit to this flying animation that we've created. So we're just going to pick up right where we left off in the previous clip. So we created this motion path, we've attached our actual UFO to it, so we have a basic flying animation. And if you can play it here, you can see the overall motion that we have. And if you remember right, we adjusted in our graph editor the curve, so it eliminated any of that slow out to this motion. You can see it travels at a linear speed here, which is what we want. Now let's go ahead and adjust some more of the settings within our motion path constraint. So we'll go to frame 1 here. We'll select our UFO, and in our channel box, we just want to scroll down and open up the motion path input node. And we really would just want to focus on this front twist, which for us is this sort of side-to-side motion on the UFO. So you can see that we don't have any keyframes on the front twist because we don't have that red box in front of the value there. So we'll go ahead and right-click this channel and choose Key Selected to lock a keyframe down on frame 1. And then what we'll do is let's move forward in time, just scrubbing the timeline here. And we might go to frame maybe 17. Right-click the front twist value again, choose Key Selected, and the reason we did that is because we want to make sure that the front twist stays at a value of 0 from frame 1 to frame 17, and then from frame 17, we'll figure out how we want to animate this twist. So we might go forward to, let's see here, maybe frame 30 or so, and then rotate the UFO in this direction. And what I'm doing here is I'm just selecting the channel that I want to edit, and I'm simply just holding the middle mouse button, clicking and dragging in the viewport to do that. And then we'll go ahead and commit that there. And we do have auto key turned on, so Maya's automatically going to set a keyframe for us. So you want to make sure that that is turned on. And now you can see that we're starting to get the UFO banking into these turns. And then we'll go forward from frame 30. We might go to frame 40 and begin to rotate the UFO, straighten it out a little bit. And then we can frame by frame our animation to get a good look at the motion. And then we might go to frame 51 or 50 or so, and then rotate this in this direction, begin that rotation as it takes this wide turn here. Maybe go to frame 65 and then continue that rotation. And we really want to have this UFO kind of banking into this turn because it is a pretty sharp turn. And then we might go to frame 83. Again, we're just looking at where the UFO is, and then where we think we want to add a little bit more rotation, we'll just use that frame number here, which is at 83. We'll know that we want this UFO to be rotated just a little bit more. So we might even bring it in even more. So it's really banking there as it's taking this turn. And then maybe at frame 95, we'll rotate it just a little bit more. And then as it starts to come out of this, maybe around frame 103, we'll begin the rotation backward in the opposite direction. So it's starting to straighten out here. Maybe around frame 112, we'll continue that rotation to straighten them out. Again, I have my front twist channel highlighted, and all I'm doing is using the middle mouse button in the viewport and just clicking and dragging to edit that value. And since we do have auto key on, Maya is automatically adding a keyframe for us. So it goes to frame 112. We might rotate it maybe around 121. We'll rotate it in this direction because you can see it's now taking another turn. So we'll rotate it like this. And again, we can frame by frame our motion to make sure that we're getting a really nice smooth motion that makes sense for the path that this UFO is taking. So we might go to frame 130 and continue that bank, and then maybe straighten it out all the way up to frame 150 to something like that. All right, and now let's play this, and let's take a look at the banking or this front twist that we added to adjust our animation. And you can see pretty quickly we were able to get some pretty decent results for the overall banking motion that you want this to take. We can go ahead and go to Show and just hide the NURBS curves to get rid of both of that both of the control curves for our UFO as well as the curve itself that the UFO is following. So now if we take a look at our UFO, check that out. We are able to create an extremely smooth animation utilizing the motion path constraint. This is something that would take a long time and would be extremely difficult to hand key the motion that we see here, this extremely smooth, linear type of motion where the UFO is traveling more at a constant speed as it's traveling through 3D space. And we've also utilized the front twist value to add in some banking to add a little bit more appeal and life to this animation. And you can really play around with this and have a lot of fun with it. You can adjust your frame and your timing of the front twist, maybe have it rotate faster. I think just looking at this, I feel like the rotation at the beginning as it turns might be just a little bit too fast, and I feel like it probably needs to rotate even more up to frame 140. So we could just edit that real quick, go to frame 140, update this front twist. Maybe go to frame 151 and rotate it even more just to adjust that animation there. And you can see you're able to really edit this extremely quickly. And you have a lot of options in here for adjusting this animation. And you can really create any type of curve that you want and have an object follow it. So now that we've learned about the power of the motion path constraint, in the next module, we're going to take a look at a brand new area within Maya, which is called the Mesh Animation Tools. So we're going to take a look at those tools in the next module.